I don't think that people really understand what it takes to produce a newspaper every day. It's quite a big operation with dozens and dozens of staff involved in ensuring that we really just bring out the news to people every day. It starts from our journalists early in the morning and our photographers, then goes through a whole entire editing process to layout, proofreading with our night staff, and eventually ends up with the street sellers that go out standing on the corners delivering newspapers to our subscribers. So it's quite a massive operation. COVID-19 and the lockdown has really put a tremendous amount of pressure on us as a news organization. It's made it just a little bit more difficult for us to do what it is we do every day. But the staff have really pulled together and have gone the extra mile to ensure that us as a news organization are able to bring quality news that is credible and that is independent.
We are obviously used to working in the office, which for me is quite useful because I can walk and speak to reporters, move from desk to desk, check how everyone's doing. Now it's a little bit different because you've got all these reporters and photographers out in the field, and we have to kind of figure out where they are they safe, what they're doing, are their stories going to come together. It's a lot more phoning and WhatsApping. We use WhatsApp a lot. Then of course there's also things to do at home. We've got kids, there's cleaning, we've got schoolwork coming through, so we've got to sort of try and fit that in, which is not really easy. I think the biggest thing right now is that people need information and they need to know what's going on. It's actually paramount that people are informed at the moment, and I think that by giving credible stories that are also informative and educational can really help people at this time. So I think our primary role in the editorial department is to provide people with that information that they need.
My name is Mtembele Mgidi. I'm a junior reporter at the Herald. I pitch my story to my editor. After I pitch my story to my editor, I'm off to cover a story. While I'm there on the scene, I have to shoot videos for live as well, quickly write write-ups for that so that the online crew can get that content. At the same time, I have to make sure that I do my interviews and make sure people don't leave me behind. I'll be working with a photographer, so at times you'll find he has to get the perfect shot and I have to conduct my interviews, and my interviews normally take longer. And Werner, as you guys saw, I was working with him. I love the fact that, you know, even if he's done, he doesn't necessarily leave me because he wants to make sure that I'm okay. And in a sense, it just gives me that comfort to know that, listen, I know someone's watching my back, and as I do the same with him, I always have his back as well when he's working. So it's just that good relationship when you're out there. The more I went out there and I saw people volunteering to help, and I saw doctors going out there and people just giving to the needy. I saw the needy and less privileged people as well, you know. I just turned around and I said, who am I? Who am I to not go out there and cover the news and not tell people's stories, tell the ups, tell the downs.
My name is Catherine Richards. I work for the Herald and the Weekend Post, and I'm the production editor of the production hub. We're basically the behind the scenes guys. We do a lot of the corrections. Proofing has become quite hectic working from home, and we do a lot of the things that no one really notices. It's not only the Herald copy that we work on Dispatch copy and the Saturday Dispatch and the Weekend Post, and we try to get the workflow working so that the papers meet their deadlines. So we start early on the week in the Weekend Post and the Saturday Dispatch, then all the copy goes through, and then once it's been subbed, then the revise will pick it up to make sure there are no errors, change headline if need be. We're excited about bringing the news to the people, and we really feel part of the community, like a big part of this community. So the little challenges that we have, it's not so bad, and technology has really made things possible, and I think a lot of this is going to change the game now for people working from home.
My name is Lloyd. I'm the chief sub-editor of the Herald. Usually before my shift is even meant to start, I get a WhatsApp from one of the early people to say, please can you proof a page for me? So before I'm meant to start, I already clock in and I proof the page. And then we have conference at about 2:30. That's basically when we discuss what's going to be in the paper, what we're going to put on page 1. We look at the pictures, we come up with a headline sometimes, all of that. And then after that I start assigning stories to the pages to be subbed. And then after that I start doing the pages. Once the stories are subbed and revised, fixed up, I start putting them on the pages, tweaking headlines, choosing photographs, and finding little fillers if there are gaps on the pages that still need to be filled. If they're late breaking stories, I have to keep an eye on them, make sure we get them in the paper, make sure that we've got the best and the latest story and update things that need to be updated, and they're on right at deadline. So things can get a little bit stressful here at about 10 o'clock at night if we're running a bit late. But by and large, we're actually quite good with our deadlines, and we haven't had any major train smashes during the lockdown so far. It's gone quite smoothly actually, which is a relief.
My name is Kenneth McGuire. I am the subscriptions manager for the Eastern Cape Home Delivery Service. I'm in charge of making sure that the Eastern Cape Home Delivery Service is fulfilled, making sure that all our readers that subscribe to our publication get the papers timelessly before 6 o'clock in the morning, and making sure that all payments, admin queries, liaising with different departments like the marketing department, in order for us to actually have a good partnership in regards to getting out there to our customers and making sure that we deliver a service that we actually promise them.
Now, with the service we deliver, you get customers that does this good deed. They would leave food parcels, as you can see there.
My name is Lachey Williams, and I oversee all the digital advertising on our Herald Live website. Because of the restrictions, more and more people are reaching for their cell phones and electronic devices to stay connected. We've actually seen growth on our Herald Live website. We've hit the 2 million unique browser mark a few days ago, which is really exciting for us. But more than exciting, I think we're just really proud to be able to service the Eastern Cape and to serve our readers and our clients as before, despite the lockdown. I think over the next while, more people will begin to rely on trusted sources of information, news and information websites such as Herald Live, to get their lockdown information. Of course, the lockdown has placed new restrictions and limitations on the way we do business. A lot of our clients, our advertising clients, are unable to operate as usual because their doors are closed right now. And so we've been trying to find ways to reach out to them, to offer our support, and together to find a new norm, a new way of doing business. So it's a very challenging time, but together, united, we can work through this.